Coach Ben here with some more macro tracking meal prep 101 quick tips and tricks. And today we're going to go over actual sources of each macronutrient, so protein, fats, and carbs, and the idea of doing meal prep of single ingredient foods and what the heck that actually means. So when we think of protein, we want to think of lean sources. Here are some protein sources here on the left. For example, lean meats, right? Like a 93% lean turkey is a lean protein source, right? Egg whites. I've got some non-fat Greek yogurt here. The list goes on. There's protein powder, there is chicken, there is beef, there is fish, right? But these are just some actual examples, right? Moving on to fats. High quality fats, whole eggs, which is also a protein source, okay? But egg yolks are especially a high quality fat. Almonds, olive oil. These are sources of fat that are of high quality. Again, there's more out there. These are not exhaustive lists or just random things I just pulled from my cupboard and refrigerator to show you on camera. Avocado is another really good fat source. Salmon, high in protein and fat, another good source there. For carbs, things like oats, quinoa, rice, pasta, bread, fruits and vegetables, all fantastic sources of carbs and all fair game to include in your meals. So let's say we're doing some simple meal prep. What I would recommend doing is making these single ingredient meals. And what I mean by that is, let's say we made a batch of our pasta, right? Okay, so let's say we just make the pasta. We don't add in a bunch of, Alfredo sauce and cover with cheese and go, okay, there's our carb source. No, you have a carb source that is combined with a bunch of fats. Hey, if we want to be able to track our calories accurately, okay, let's make them single ingredient. Just make your batch of pasta, okay? Now let's pair that pasta with something else because we're not just going to eat it plain, right? So maybe we go, all right, maybe it is turkey, okay? Again, maybe we brown up a bunch of this in a pan, and we just do that. We add seasonings and whatnot, but we don't go crazy adding a bunch of condiments into there, okay? A bunch of oils and cheese or whatever it is, right? You do that later, okay? All right, so we got a carb source, we got a protein source. How about a fat source? Hey, there's some fat in the turkey, but maybe we're adding a little bit of olive oil to our meal. Maybe we're measuring out a teaspoon or two, right? And then maybe we want some kind of other condiment for it, okay? Right? Like, for example, maybe we are putting on a little bit of cheese. Oh no, cheese is a low quality fat source. Hey, we're putting in a little bit. Maybe we put in, for example, 5 grams. That's literally 1.5 grams of fat. You'll be fine, okay? And it will enhance the taste of your food tremendously. So let me show you some cooked foods that will fit the bill here while we put together a plate of food, or while we are doing some simple meal prep, okay? We're weighing out our food sources and getting that stuff, all measured on a scale, okay? Let's get to it. Okay, we're going to take this a step further and put together an actual meal, okay? So, all right, single ingredient foods. We made, for example, okay, let's say we did this ahead of time, all right? We made some pasta. We made a carb source. We made a fat source. Let's say we browned up a large batch of ground turkey or ground beef or ground chicken or whatever, okay? For this example, this is 93% lean ground beef here today. And then whenever you put the meal together, you want to start with your main protein source, move to your carb source, and then add a produce source, so a fruit or vegetable. So let's say we made a large batch of steamed broccoli, okay? Again, we didn't cook this in oil. We literally just steamed it, okay? So that way you're getting you know exactly what you're getting. We will add the condiments later, okay? We talked about a healthy fat. Maybe we're going to add a little bit of fat to this meal to make this extra tasty and extra macro friendly, okay? So let's say we go, all right, protein, carb, produce source. Okay, so let's say we're like, all right, we want to have 6 grams of beef, for example, at our meal. Is something magical about 6 ounces? No. But let's say that's what the amount that we wanted to hit our calorie macro targets. So I got my food scale here. I got it on. I got it zeroed out. Okay, you could have it in ounces or grams. If you're doing grams, you're going to do the conversion, right? There's 28 grams to 1 ounce. So let's see if I could scoop some from with my left hand. So it look like I can. Hang tight. All right, here we go. So let's say we want to have 6 ounces of beef, and we're doing the plate version, like we're making ourselves a dinner, right? Okay, cool. Sounds good to me. Let's put 6 ounces on here. Put this in one corner of the plate. Let's see, what's that scale saying? 3.6. I said earlier I wanted 6 ounces, right? So we're going to stick with that. And we're getting close. Yeah, a little bit more. Boom. Just a little bit over, not a big deal, right? Let me move this so you can actually see what's going on here. But we got 6 ounces there. All right, let's add a carb source. Let's say we want 4 ounces of pasta, for example, right? So what we'll do is, in my attempt to meal prep, I actually make a lot of pasta at one time because I do eat it frequently. And this is still frozen, but use your imagination with me, okay? So let's say we want 4 ounces. I'll take another side of my plate, put in 4 ounces of that, and we can mix all this food together if we want, right? I'm just trying to show you a clear example of how I'm measuring all this stuff out, right? So let's say, we're getting close. A couple more. Like 2 more noodles, that should get me there. Okay, good enough. We're a little bit over. That's fine, okay? So, we got a little bit more room in our plate. Let's add a vegetable. Turn off your scale. Okay, I do not want you weighing your veggies. I've never met anyone who's gone, Ben, I just cannot lose weight because I can't stop eating broccoli. There's just so much broccoli at night that I just can't help it. Hey, it's not a thing, okay? So let's say we want some vegetables. Just fill up like 1/3 of your plate with some veggies, okay? Get some color on there, right? High quality source of fiber. This keeps digestion in a good place, okay? Things like, hey, it might seem like TMI, but regular bowel movements and stuff are directly affected by the amount of veggies we have. If we never eat vegetables, that is no bueno, okay? Hex that a little bit more. Boom. All right. Now is when I'm going to add the condiment, right? So let's say I want a healthy fat. We talked about carb, protein, and fat sources. Hey, maybe I'm going to add some olive oil. Now, I'm not going to pour the whole bottle on here and go, oh, this is healthy. Okay. And just pour the whole bottle on here. No. Okay. That's going to make our calories go all over the place. We want to measure it. We could either weigh the amount of olive oil we have, or even though volumetric measurements are not as accurate as weighing them, hey, if I always put a teaspoon of olive oil over my dinner, it's going to give me a consistent result, right? So let's say I do that. I add a teaspoon of olive oil. Boom, pour it on. Okay, cool. Maybe I want some other kind of low-calorie, macro-friendly condiment, right? Like, for example, 2 tablespoons has 2 carbs of the sweet chili sauce, sugar-free, by G. Hughes. Hey, let me put on a tablespoon or 2, right? I'm not pouring a whole bottle on here, okay? That's not great. But put on, an amount that's appropriate. Okay, maybe we are putting on 2 tablespoons, and maybe we are weighing it. Maybe we're not. We put on 2 tablespoons. Okay, cool. Toss that sucker in the microwave. Heat it up. You're good to go. Add some salt and pepper. No, salt is not evil. Okay, add some salt and pepper to taste. Make your food taste good. And there you go. So this is a great, busy day lunch or something like that, or dinner. But nonetheless, more so than that, I'm just trying to show you guys how I structure a meal and what I actually mean by single ingredient foods and structuring your meal with a protein, carb, and produce source. Okay? Take care.